I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just mashing buttons. Hey, everybody. Welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday, where we go through the advice letters that have been submitted this week and the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. It's just kind of a mixture as we work our way through this backlog. Remember, we will be doing 2 advice shows a week through October while I try to play catch up. So be back here on Thursday if you want to participate in more of this fun. If you want to submit a question for the show, look in the show description below, right below this, talking about what the show is about, and you'll see a thing that says get advice. Click that link, and it'll take you to the advice submission form. Just type your question in there and press send, and it will go into the folder where we consider it for airing on the show. Hey everybody, I see all the usual suspects in the house and a couple of new folks. Hey Amber Fears, that's a new name. Things are beautiful, hey. And Just Serena, this is a relatively new name. But I see all my regulars are in the house. Hey you guys, welcome back for another week of this crazy. I don't know. Did you see the video I put up yesterday about ghosting? It's how some people just don't get it. And they just be all in their feelings about it like somebody owes them something. I was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. If you didn't see it, please check it out and put your comments down below. It's kind of interesting. But let us get started because I know there's a lot of questions. I can feel the weight of the packet. And yes, 25 as usual. 25 letters. It's Bop o'clock. That's right. So let's get started for What the Fuck Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. Question number 1. This is a female, 25 to 29, from Fort Worth, Texas, who wrote a book. I'm becoming increasingly annoyed with my boyfriend recently and feeling tremendously guilty about it. We've been dating for just over 2 years. He's kind and caring, and I love so many things about him, but there are certain physical things he does that are becoming major turnoffs for me. We'll be sitting on the couch, for example, watching TV, and at least 2 to 3 times during each episode, that's like an hour, right? So 2 to 3 times in an hour, he will lean over and get half an inch from my face and stare at me, smiling expectantly. Then he'll clear his throat like he's waiting for me to kiss him. And then when I lean in, he gives me 5 consecutive, super quick, wet, rigid pecks. Then he'll usually sink back in the couch and say, Boo is gorgeous. I'm so lucky. She is perfect. This guy is weird. I am being literal when I say this exact routine of actions will happen every 10 to 15 minutes throughout the evening. Often it feels during the most important scene of the show/movie. My lips quite literally feel sore at the end of every night. Oh my God, this poor girl. I can tell he really enjoys it and thinks it's cute, but it's becoming too much. I told him I don't like those peck style kisses, and they're starting to make me anxious, especially when he jumps on me to do them. It's always very sudden, like a big dog jumping on you. Oh my God. I told him I like to kiss him, but I'd much rather do one sweet kiss than 5 cold, wet pecks in a row. I've asked him not to do it during the top scene of movies or shows. And when I'm really trying to pay attention, I try to be very delicate in how I say it. But he just gets irritated with me and feels rejected, which is not my intent. And I feel terrible making him feel bad. So lately, I just been letting him do it, and the irritation is climbing. I feel extremely guilty because I get annoyed with how often he gives me compliments. He'll say, Boo is so smart, Boo is so kind, Boo is so gorgeous, that exact wording, literally 25 times a night at random moments. Any random pocket of silence, he says that exact phrase. This poor girl's being tortured. I feel like a monster for being annoyed with him because he seems so smitten with me, but it feels very overwhelming to me. And it makes me feel like it's hard to connect with him because he never gives me the space to come to him for a change. There are times I think I should end the relationship, but other times I feel guilty for even thinking that because he's a great guy in so many ways and I do love him. It's just exhausting to have someone trying to kiss me dozens of times every hour, tell me I'm perfect 50 times a day. I don't know how to change the dynamic without hurting his feelings or making him feel rejected. I would be so happy if maybe he gave me a sincere, unique compliment once a day or a few nice kisses throughout the day. But the constant pet kissing and repetitive compliments are overwhelming. Girl, yeah, something's wrong with him, Sean Q. I looked up and I saw that. I was just ready to say it. You took the words right out of my mouth. There's something wrong with him. Now, what? I don't know. This it's like he's like possessive, and even though you may not see it this way, this is controlling because if you don't do what he wants you to do the way he wants you to do it, the times he wants to do it to you, when you obviously is making you uncomfortable, then he catches the attitude. Now, this is when the little thought bubble comes up. What would Deb do? Get the fuck off me. What the hell is wrong with you? Stay over there and watch the show. Don't touch me. Don't get in my face. Don't say shit about boo, boo, boo. Don't say nothing. And you keep that up, you know what? We gonna be through because you working my last goddamn nerve. I don't feel like being bothered with that. You in my face every 15 seconds. I can't even fucking breathe. That's what he would get from me. Now, you seem to be very concerned about his feelings and him feeling rejected, and you're not really considering your own feelings here, right? Because isn't this like driving you crazy? This is making you have all kinds of negative feelings, anxiety, you feeling pressured, put upon, like it's a giant dog jumping on you. I'm sorry, that was hilarious. I can understand it. This would make, I swear I would probably slap him. Now, this would be bop o'clock. I could not. I can't stand it. I don't like people touching me that much. It's like if we gonna have like, the session and it's touching and all of that kind of stuff, then that's different. But just to be randomly like grabbing on me and rubbing on me and all this stuff for every 10 minutes, that would drive me nuts. I'm telling y'all, that would drive me crazy. That would make me feel, yeah, that would be the what would Deb do? And I'm telling you, he would get cussed out. Now, this is an example of, see, you're tolerating this and you feel guilty and all this kind of stuff. You have to worry. This is a thing where you're not thinking about yourself and your needs. You're more focused on him and his feelings than you are on your own. And I tell you, you need to flip that and you need to tell him to stop. Stop touching you. You don't want to be touched like that. Stop making your lips raw. I mean, you're experiencing physical pain and injury from all of this that he's doing to you. And you're not speaking up because you're more concerned about his feelings than you are what's going on with your own body. Are you understanding what's going on here? The dynamic at work. He's forcing himself on you in spite of the fact that you don't want him to do it. This is not a good situation. I don't care how nice he is, in what ways he's good and all this other old stuff. In this one major way, he's working your goddamn nerves. So you better tell him. Better tell him before I find him and tell him. I don't know why women do that. It's like just to feel like you're in a relationship, you put up with this is basically like, physical assault. He's doing something to you that you don't want him to do. And so, you have to, it's the same as if you were with a dude and he's grabbing your chest or something. He's just making it about your lips. But it's the same thing. It's your body and you have the right to tell people when they can touch it and how they can touch it and how often they can touch it and what way they can touch it. And you're not voicing on any of that. You just letting him do whatever he wants to do. That's a violation, girlfriend. You need to, get dude real straight, real quick. This is terrible. It's funny the way you wrote it, but when you really get down to, the underlying issues here, it's not funny. And this is a really very weird, controlling type of behavior that he has. I'm telling you, he would have got nixed from my life because I would have told him exactly one time, shut up, stop talking, I'm watching my show. And don't get in my face. And if he did it, then I tell him, get out, get out, get out. It's over. Yeah, it's just, and she says the kisses are wet and they're pecks and they hurt her lips. At the end of the night, her lips are sore. See, no, I would be using my lips to cuss him out. I'm telling you, I already know me. So this is really an unfortunate situation, but think about what I'm saying and think about the dynamic at work here. He's pushing himself on you when you don't want him to do it. Okay, no matter what relationship you have with him, you could be married to him. It's your body, and you decide who touches it. He's doing stuff against your will. You don't like it. You want him to stop? I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, see, I'm with you, can't hide. He would have been got the axe a long, long time ago. Question number two. This one's from a young man in the 37 to 45 age group from the UK. He says, recently my wife told me that she's changing massage therapists from a female to a male. The guy works out of his apartment solo. I told her that I was very uncomfortable that she would be alone with a male therapist at his residence and having this guy rub his hands over her naked body, especially since she only met and talked to him for an hour over coffee at Starbucks. She could tell that I was upset with this situation and informed me that she had canceled her appointment with him so that I wouldn't be upset and worried. I thanked her for doing that and felt very relieved. A day or so later, I found out through emails and text messages that she had indeed canceled her appointment for a scheduled massage as she stated, but in the same text message, she asked if she could reschedule within 2 weeks. His reply to her was an appointment for the following week. Obviously, she was not telling me the truth and flat out lied to me. This really hurts me deeply as I've always trusted her throughout our marriage. I've never suspected her to have ever lied to me in the past. I'm going to wait until her appointment date next week to see if she goes through with it. I know where this guy's apartment complex is located at the time for her appointment. I have a full view of the parking lot to see if she shows up. I will then know for sure that she has definitely lied to me. Wow, you are just really in your feelings, aren't you? I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. You think? Do I let this slide and say nothing? Do I confront her face to face with picture proof evidence showing she lied to me? Or should I simply email her a timestamp picture of her at the apartment complex at her appointment time and ask if she would like to comment or provide an explanation? I'm going to say this, sir. You're acting real stupid right now. This is a grown ass woman. How old are you? You are in the, what did I say, 37 to 40? You 37 to 45 age group. So that means your wife is somewhere around there herself, or maybe slightly younger, slightly older, who knows. Whatever is the situation, she's a grown woman. Okay, she's fully entitled to go wherever she wants to go to get a massage in whatever way she wants to. Okay, now you've already expressed that you don't like it, but you know what? You don't have to like it. It's not about what you like, it's about what she likes. Now, it's not like she's going clubbing with the dude. You know, that's his profession. Okay? Now, if you don't trust that, what you should have said is, honey, I know you met this guy and everything, but I want to go with you just for backup, just in case. Because, you don't really know this guy, so you go in, I'll sit in the car or something like that and wait for you to get done. You could have done that, and you would have been able to provide the support, make sure everything was okay. Your wife was protected, which seems to be something you're somewhat concerned about. And, she could have got her massage. And I'll tell you flatly that male masseuses are way better as if you have knots and muscles and stuff than women because they have more upper body strength. They can really get in there. You have some super knots and stuff. That's what you need. Some of the best massages I've ever gotten have been from guys, to where it's like knots that you've had that you couldn't get rid of for years come just loosen up. So, I don't know what her health, what the issue is that's sending her to get a massage, but, you're not mentioning any of that, what the benefit is to her to have, some deeper tissue massage that from someone who has the strength to really work those muscles and get those knots out. So that's all I'm gonna say. This secret squirrel stuff you trying to do, sending pictures and all this stuff, what you're going to do, sir, is destroy your marriage. Because it's like you say you trust her, but all your activities show that you don't. You put your wife in a situation where she felt like to do what she wanted to do. She had to lie to you because you was just tripping and acting stupid and acting controlling. She wanted to get a massage. Like I said, all you had to do was go with her. And all your issues could have been squelched, and you wouldn't have been going around taking pictures and screenshots and acting all idiotic. This is some kind of shit that will make your wife disrespect, like lose respect for you. This is not how you handle yourself like a G. Okay, you just some punk bitch shit right here that you doing. So I don't know what to tell you. My husband did some shit like that, man. I would be giving him so much side eye, and I would not want to be bothered with him. He would be like on a timeout for going, digging through my phone and seeing stuff like that, checking on me, and then trying to put me in a position in the first place where he's like trying to insist I don't do something that I want to do. I'm grown. I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. As long as I don't disrespect this marriage, then what's the problem? I'm not cheating with the dude. So you see what I mean? This is just unbelievable. This is just unbelievable to me. So you heed my words. You're gonna be facing some problems if you go through with that action. You know, every action is gonna have an equal and opposite reaction. And I don't think you're gonna like what's gonna be coming down the pike for you. Question number 3, female 225 out of Ontario, Canada. I'll try not to ramble, but I've been in a 5-year relationship with a man I think I love, but I can't stand to be touched, kissed, or to be around him. It sounds awful, but the thought of having eggplant with him makes me cringe also. Why do I feel this way? I feel like I love him, but is it more the thought of losing him? I suppose when you've been with someone so long, it's like losing a best friend. But the thought of ending it with him breaks my heart because I know he would just be devastated, and I can't bear the guilt as he won't see it coming, despite me refusing eggplant and refusing being kissed, etc. I've tried to end it about 3 years ago, and I couldn't for due to feeling so guilty after he broke down on me. The other hard thing that makes it difficult for me is that we have a mortgage, and he is pretty clueless when it comes to it, as am I. So neither of us will have any clue how to get ourselves out of it. It's a 3-year fixed term and we're about 1 year in. I just feel so overwhelmed with everything and miserable. And I'm 23 and I feel like there's more to life than feeling this way. Any advice would be helpful. I just don't know who else to turn to right now, so I'm coming to you. Girlfriend, how can you be only 23 and have been in a 5-year relationship? Where they do that at? That's like the prime of your life where you should be just dating everybody. You know, it just makes no sense. Now, I don't know what they have in Canada, but here they have things called attorneys, real estate attorneys, and that's what they specialize in is situations like this. So they will, figure out what to do with the mortgage company and what you can do to sell it and divide the proceeds equally, make sure the taxes are paid, all that kind of stuff, and then transfer all that obligation and debt to the new owner. Y'all walk away. That's what you do. Will you take a loss? Possibly, because I don't know what your interest rate is and what your notes are and all that kind of how much you put down. There's a lot of unknowns here. So, will you have anything that even looks like equity? I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of questions here that you didn't answer. So, but that's how that would go. You'd have to pay the attorney, of course, but all your I's would be dotted and all your T's crossed, and you guys would, escape free and clear with no problems in the future. That would be my suggestion. Don't just go to a real estate agent or a broker or whatever. You guys, you're not married, so you need some legal counsel on this thing to make sure that this happens, legally, and that every obligation to the lender as well as to the government for any taxes or local taxes, whatever's owed on the property is handled, paid, and then you transfer it to the new owner. So start there. Talk to an attorney, a real estate attorney, and see what you can do. This is an easy fix. But all your feelings about the guy not wanting to touch him and but then saying that you will love him, he's just like a bad habit. That's all that is. You're used to him. You've been used to him for so many years, you can't really conceive of how you would be living your life without him. But that's not love. That's some kind of weird dependency or something. It's like I said, it's just a bad habit. You can break it. Takes 21 days. The scientific studies say it takes 21 days to break a habit. So 21 days without him, you'll be fine. Just make it through them 3 weeks. You'll be cool. Question number 4. Female, 30 to 36 out of Oakland. Oh, a homegirl. I dated this dude for 10 months. I was just getting out of my own financial hardships after a divorce. I told him I was not in a financial situation where I could monetarily contribute. He knew this before we even started going out. He was very generous. He always paid for when we went out, and occasionally he would give me money to help pay my bills because, quote, he wanted me to be comfortable. He would buy groceries, voluntarily bought me a part for my car, let me store my holiday stuff in his basement, and even paid for a few weekend getaways. I helped him out the best I could with what I had, so I watched his 2 daughters on the Saturdays he worked, in addition to minor housework and doing his laundry at my house. When I broke up with him, he said I owed him money. Oh, did he really? I didn't respond. So, in a desperate attempt to contact me, he came pounding on my door one day and even stopped by my sister's job. I still didn't respond. So, he pretended to have an STD, then accused me of intentionally giving it to him so he could, quote, get my attention. I was feeling threatened, so I replied that I would set up automatic payments for the $475. I hope you did not put that in writing because if you did, that was a dumb move. A few days went by. I started thinking clearly again and realized I had babysat a lot for him. So I itemized every single day I babysit and then deducted what I, quote, owed him and any other unpaid wages I deducted as miscellaneous expenses. I sent him the babysitting and deductions ledger along with the diamond necklace and earrings he had given me. His response was, I see you are refusing to pay me. I'll see you in court for the groceries, trips, storage fees, car parts, etc. There was never any kind of verbal or written agreement to deem this a loan. Should I be worried he might actually sue me, or is this just his way of punishing me or getting revenge? Or am I breaching a contract by saying I would pay the money? Thank you for your thoughts. If you put it in writing, like in a text or something, that you would pay it, your ass is on the hook. That was dumb. You don't never do that. You say stuff, if you're gonna put something in writing, it's like, what are you talking about? Those were gifts. You did that because we were dating. Now you want to try to act like I owe you something. That's the kind of stuff you put in writing. So when he goes to court and shows that, they'll be like, well, sir, you brought these groceries. Did you eat some of the groceries? Sir, you spent time at the house. You helped pay these bills and for the lights and all the stuff. Were you there burning the lights, running up the water, eating the food that she cooked? Did you do that stuff, sir? Did she watch your daughters for you? Okay. Did you pay her for that? There's gonna be questions. So the bottom line though is not he's just talking shit. He just his feelings are hurt because he got rejected, so he's acting like a little child and lashing out. But this is the kind of thing I would send him a text and say, see, this is why I broke up with you because you're a fucking kid. You act like a big ass baby. You 50 whatever years old and you act like a 2-year old. That's why I don't want you no more. I want a real man. That ain't you. Look at how you acting. You gave me all that stuff because you wanted to be with me and you felt like that's what you were supposed to do as my man. But now you mad because you didn't get the payoff that you wanted for your quote investment. And it's because of that. Now here you are acting stupid. So all it does is make me glad I broke up with you. Yeah, you're just stupid, just petty and ignorant. And that's the kind of stuff. See, that's why, um, women do that's ghosting. This is exactly why. You just block him and ghost him. But he's coming bamming on your door and stuff like that. I would have called the police on his ass. It's like you got 3 seconds before I call the cops and tell them that you stalking me and harassing me. And then, depending on what kind of business he is or job he has or whatever he's doing in the community, that could be a bad look. Okay, going to your sister's job, she should have done the same thing. I don't have shit to do with what you and my sister was the ones fucking. What you over here in my house for? At my job. You know what I mean? That's stupid. He's ignorant. And so this gotta do what would Debbie do? I would have shot him through the door. That's what you told him. Get away from my door. And you don't get away, bam. I mean, what you do? I'm feeling threatened, officer. He wouldn't leave. He was talking about he was gonna kill me. He was beating on the door trying to break it down, so I shot through the door. Then I'm gonna drag his body in the house and be like, make sure I did what I have to shoot on, like a warning shot, but afterwards, after he's already dead, you just shoot it somewhere, and everybody will be like, oh, there were 2 shots. Yes, there were. The first one was my warning shot, and the second one, he kept coming, so I tapped him. Oh, there he lies. What do you want me to do? He shouldn't have been in my house bamming on my door and acting a fool. Kanye struck. I mean, we're not doing that. I'm just going to shoot you. I don't know. Pretend to have an SCTD. I mean, girl, you don't have $475. Just challenge him. Even if you did say that in a text, or you can go to court and say, I was under duress. He was harassing me. He went to my sister's job. Was beating on my door. He was threatening me, saying he had an STD. He did all kinds of stuff. After I just, judge, I just wanted him to leave me alone. So I agreed with it, but I don't have $475 to give this man. He gave me these things as gifts. I even gave him his diamonds back and everything. I'm not trying to take him for anything. And the food he bought, he ate half of it up himself. So what do you want? I don't understand. I don't understand. Please. I would have a judge making him give me some money. Girl, Let's move on. Question number 5. Female 21 to 26 out of Pennsylvania. Hi, Miss Deb. I actually have a short letter. LOL. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I am a college student who wants to experiment eggplantly because I have been sheltered most of my life. The problem is that I want the casual experiences, but I feel like because I'm a woman, the risks of such relationships are higher than the possible rewards. Well, the risks are the same for male or female as far as, STDs and, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the pregnancy and the stalker issue tends to be heavier on the female side. Most of these guys can't even give good eggplant, want to treat you like a free hooker and try to endanger your health. Then you have the other guys that get attached and get mad because you're seeing other people. I find that most guys can't handle a casual relationship when a woman wants nothing more than that. This is irritating since I thought the guys, especially on online dating apps, prefer this type of arrangement. I want to continue dating casually, but I feel like I'm giving it away for free and I'm having few fun experiences because of the reason I previously mentioned. My question is, how should a woman in her early 20s safely enjoy dating casually without feeling like a free hooker? Well, you all over the place. Okay, you all over the place. You want to feel valued and worshipped and all this stuff, but then you want to casually fuck. Okay, you don't get both. You pick one. Okay, so you talking about, well, I feel like a free prostitute. You putting yourself in a position where you're feeling like you're getting a validation from these guys, not like you the one empowering you choosing to have this. That's what your letter. You all over the place. You need to really sit down and decide what it is you want. You from like casual to online dating apps to well, they don't treat you good, and then it's gonna be a disease, and then they gonna get too attached, and then it's gonna be drama. You just all over the place. You need to make a plan. What is it that you really want here? And if you really want casual stuff, you don't worry about what somebody's gonna be thinking and feeling and stuff. You going for yours. You don't care. But I'm telling you, for the most part, uh, well, everybody's susceptible to them. It depends on what kind. Men tend to be more carriers, but they get the same shit that women do. But the thing about it is, you want to, I mean, why do you think that that's something that you want to do? Just dick hopping. Because I'm telling you, for the most part, it's not worth it. Haven't you heard all these stories of the men, the 3 minute men and stuff? You're going to be going through that, putting yourself through all this risk for 3 minutes of not even a good time? They can't fuck, okay? They play too many video games. Their whole lower bodies are weak. They have no pelvic floor muscles. Their cores are weak. They can't hold the boner. They're just all kinds of fucked up. So you sitting up there with these young men, used to be young men of, fine specimens and could go for 30, 40 minutes. Not no more. Not these weak old video game playing sitting at a computer, big gut, half baldy at 30 motherfuckers. They can't fuck. So you need to rethink this. Now, I'm not saying you can't, have what they call, serial monogamy. You date this guy for a month or two, then you move on to the next one. I think that's a better option than just picking up dudes on an online dating site. It's not as much fun as you imagine it is. It gets to be quite tedious and they're really stupid. And sometimes, they really don't want to let you go. They agree, they feel like they staked a claim or some shit. So this could be a very risky thing. And like I said, the most important part is they can't fuck anyway. So, it's not like you gonna be feeling like a free whatever because you're not getting nothing out of it. I wouldn't be bothered. Yeah, they do. They be taking Viagra at 28 and 30 and stuff. Oh, and have the guts of life. And then you see them from the back, their butts are flat. When you got somebody whose butt is flat and there's like it's loose and jiggly in a man, that means his pelvic floor muscles, which is what, well, anyway, you can read about that. That's what makes him be able to go boinga, boinga, boinga with the muscles there. And if he can't do that, that means he has no control. He can't cut off, the sensations. And you know what I'm trying to say. But I'm trying to, I'm trying. But anyway, that's how you can tell. You just look at the dude. He don't have no ass. He don't have no muscles back there at all. He got a gut, rounded shoulders, no back muscles, no chest muscles. Pass. Because he got trash dick. Okay? It's trash. And any dude listening to this, get your fucking ass into a gym and do something. Get off the couch and put that video game controller down. and get yourself together. You sitting up here giving out trash dick and have the nerve to be complaining that no woman don't want you. Not nobody want that 3 minutes of waste of time. Putting on my makeup and my lingerie and shit for 3 minutes. Please, that should have pissed somebody off. Yes. So anyway, I just a long way to tell you, you better rethink this and think about you just find somebody, you date him for a while, then you're like, yeah, next. Okay, then you date the next one. It's called serial monogamy. Look it up. I don't know what they be having. It's just not lack of exercise. That's what it is. They don't exercise. They don't do shit except sit at a computer. And they have, what's called computer neck, and this, where it's like, the forward neck posture and the rounded shoulders because they hunch over with this remote control like that all the time. You should be, shoulders back, your shoulders pinched together, chest out, spine erect, ears should be in line with your shoulders. If your ears are in front of your body, that means you have the forward neck, gamer posture, computer neck and computer posture, and it's just bad news. It's very bad for your body, okay? So sit up tall, do some exercises for your back, work those trapezius muscles and the rhomboids in the back, and get yourself together. Yeah, nobody want that trash ass dick, and I will tell the motherfucker in a minute. What was the fuck was that? You just wasted my time. Get the fuck out. Get out and take your trash ass dick with you when you go. Nobody want that shit. It's like, y'all good. I don't know. You might be about to buy a billboard and put somebody's face up there and talk about them. Just so everybody publicly know. Don't you see this motherfucker? He be trying to get some. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's got trash dick. Trash dick. Somebody need to make a rap about that. Not me, because I'm not good at writing lyrics. Question number 6. Female 21 to 25 out the UK. Help me. My boyfriend is in trouble. Girl, I'm trying to tell you. He just can't find a job. He sends his resume to various websites for all kinds of vacancies, but he gets rejected everywhere. Now, I alone have been providing for our family for 2 years. He studied. This year, he finished his studies. I'm tired and I can't take it anymore. I love him and I don't want to end a relationship, and we will not diverge for sure. I just want to help him find a job. He is a bartender by profession. I advise him to consider freelancing, but he does not do it very well. Well, what the fuck does he do? What does he do well? You just got some loser, dusty bum at your house that you're supporting. Kick him out and tell him when he gets a job and gets on his feet and has some damn money that he can call you. But until then, you just get rid of him. I don't understand why you going through all these changes about a mere boyfriend. He's a boyfriend. He's not a husband. But I wouldn't even take that shit from my husband. You better get out there. I don't give a fuck if you got to collect cans and newspapers and cardboard to make some money. You better do something. Everybody in this bitch ass house that's an adult better be bringing in some money. I'm not feeding and clothing nobody. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Mm-mm. Even my daughter, from the time she was 18 and she made her get a little job, I made her start paying the cable bill and made her pay our cell phone bill. Not just her cell phone, but both of our cell phone bills. And then she bought groceries and everything else. I'm like, you ain't living here free. Your ass is 18. You're an adult. This is how it is in the real world. And it wasn't a lot of money, when you consider how much she made. It was about, I don't know, a total of maybe $250 a month that she was paying, but it's a principle, that she needs to feel like she's paying something to live in a house where all the food and everything is being provided. Toilet paper, soap, the meals are cooked, all the stuff is happening, and you warm at night and the lights is on and all the stuff. Well, you didn't pay for any of that, so you're going to contribute something. Yeah, I worked too since I was 16. But, she was 16, I let her keep her little money. But once she turned 18, I'm like, oh, no, here you go. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I got to say about that. You got a Dusty. Just get rid of him. He don't do nothing. I mean, nothing you said here he does. And it's like, why is he submitting resumes online? See, and then what proof do you have that he's even doing that? Tell him to get him some resumes in a folder and to walk around to different restaurants and bars and to give them his resume and meet them in person right then and there on the spot. That's how you get a job, not online. Not for something like that. A bartender is a face to face kind of job. They need to see you. They need to talk to you. They need to see how you interact with people. It's not like working in a word processing center or something where you at a desk. It's a person job. It's customer service face to face type of job. Good bartenders will get you buying all kind of drinks, and your tab will run up so high you be like, wait a minute, what happened? How I get all these drinks? Oh, try this. That. Would you like a double? Well, this we got this new kind of liquor. They upgrade your liquor. So they be sneaky. They be sneaky. But a good bartender will do that. And you go in there to spend $25 and come out with a tab of $60 trying to figure out how that happened. But that's a good bartender. And they'll laugh with you and joke with you and keep you there ordering drinks and keep you coming back because you like to work, interact with them. That is a person to person type of job. Tell him to get his ass up and go out into the public where he can, meet the people. Well, it doesn't matter if they 2001 or not. This motherfucker is whatever he is. He need to do something. And a lot of people are old and they're 2001 themselves. The people that own these businesses, they ain't young. So, these are people in their 50s and 60s that own these businesses. They like resumes, trust me. So it's not like he's going to be doing something that's, so foreign to the people that own the businesses. Everybody uses a resume. Question number 7, female, 30 to 36, Austin, Texas. I recognize that I might get blasted for this, but I would love to hear what you and the squad think. I got engaged this week. I love him, and I am very excited. I did not expect an elaborate ring. This is a second marriage for both of us, and he's paying alimony to his first wife. Also, I recognize that I'm in a more fortunate financial position than he is. However, he accidentally left the receipt for the ring in our junk drawer, and I found it while I was looking for my keys. I discovered that he spent less on the ring than he recently spent on football tickets for him and his son. Wow. I feel a little hurt as it made me feel less important than football tickets. Am I being shallow and ridiculous? I love the man, but I feel like an afterthought. I wonder why he didn't accidentally leave that receipt there. You don't accidentally do stuff like that. And it's not okay. This is okay. You was happy till you found the receipt, right? You were happy till you found the receipt. Once you found the receipt, which he obviously left there intentionally for you to find, uh, now comes the question of what are you gonna do about it? It's one thing to write to me about it and to complain, but I mean, is this something enough that you don't want to marry him now? You want to break off the engagement over it? Are your feelings that hurt? Is this something that you would rather take the ring and upgrade it and pay the difference yourself so you can have the ring that you really want? That's probably what I would do. But it would be a different kind of ring, and then I would not be marrying him. Or, do you want to talk to him about it and say, I noticed that you paid more for your football tickets than you did for a ring for the woman that you want to, spend the rest of your life with. What kind of reason is that, and where are your values? And this is, it's very telling because, like I always tell y'all, don't just look at what the man did or what the man said in the moment. Look at what motivated him to do what he did and what he said. And you got a guy who's more interested. I mean, football has a higher value to him than providing you with a very nice ring, which is a symbol of how he's going to take care of you in the marriage. A lot of people don't see it that way. They're like, oh, I just, it's just a ring. It's this and that. It is, but the fact that he even bothered to buy one, I mean, why would you get some little cheap shit for her? I just don't get anything and wait until you get married and get a wedding band. There's ways to do things with class and style, and there's way to do shit that's tacky and tawdry, and this is a tacky, tawdry thing. So I don't know. You think about what how you want to handle it. I would be giving him the side eye because it's already saying something about where his priorities lie. And his priorities is not on you. And since he's already been divorced once, well, I guess you have too. But, there's something to be said for why. What was the reason why the divorce happened? Is this something you make your wife feel insignificant and less important than other things like football? I don't know. You know what I mean? Knowing you have more money than him and he got to pay alimony and stuff. See, dude might be struggling financially. And once he gets you to marry him, see, he'll be able to tap into your pocket, help make his life financially easier. So there's a lot for you to think about here. I wouldn't be marrying nobody. I wouldn't be excited about a situation like that. You know, if a man is really into you and wants to make, he knows that that's a meaningful thing for a woman who's getting married. He's supposed to forgo the season this year. Watch the shit on TV. And then that money that you was going to spend on them season tickets, you spend it towards your wife's wedding ring. That's what you do. But, that's where his priorities are. So be mindful of that as you move forward if you still decide that you want to marry him. I personally I would put the brakes on this and give this a lot of thought because it does not bode well for him making you a priority in the marriage. Question number 8. This is from a female 30 to 36 out of Kansas City. I apologize in advance for this long letter, but I feel I need to give you some background. I've been divorced. Let's see how long is this shit. Oh, it's not too bad. I've been divorced for several years after a long marriage. Finally decided it was time to get back out there. I went on my first date in a very, very long time with someone I met on a dating app. The first date led to a second, and we were chatting every night. We live about an hour apart, so he came to my area for the second date and rented a hotel room to avoid having to drive back home late after drinking. When we were planning date number 2, we also talked about possibly hanging out the following day, but it was a let's see how it goes, and nothing was set in stone. So date 2 went really well. When we parted ways for the night, there was no mention of meeting up the next day. I assumed he would text me the following morning if he still wanted to go. No text the next morning. I texted him that evening, and he did eventually text me back, but it was very brief, nothing like our prior text. I texted him the day after that, and he never responded. If he decided he's just not feeling it, I'm okay with that, but it was just so abrupt. I wonder if may have been a misunderstanding about us hanging out the following day. If he was under the impression that we were supposed to hang out, I can understand why he was upset. We got along really well and have a lot in common, so I would hate for it to end due to a simple misunderstanding. Based on our conversations, I really don't think he had any expectation that I'd be going back to his room, so I don't think that played any role here. You're dumb if you think that. Should I message him to ask or just let it go? Is it common for a date to go really well and then get ghosted? Thanks in advance for your response. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Most of my friends are married, so I don't have anyone to talk to about it. Oh, absolutely. Why do you think you got a hotel room? You got a hotel room so that you can spend the night at the hotel with him. That's why that little carrot was dangling out there. Oh, we could do something the next morning, the next day. Because he thought that you would spend the night with him and y'all could get up and have breakfast together and have some more, a couple times, some more whoopee before he went back to his hour away location. You know what I mean? That's all. You just didn't read the signs. So he was expecting something on the second date. Otherwise, he would have controlled his drinking, controlled his thirst, and he would have drove back home. An hour ain't shit to drive. That's nothing. Now, if it would have been 3 hours, I could understand it. But an hour? People come do that in a commute every day. One way. So that's not a big deal. You putting a lot on it, but that's just his excuse. You were supposed to go to the hotel with him. You didn't, so he got an attitude, and that's why he didn't, text you the next day. Now, for as far as you chasing him down and texting him and all this stuff, you don't ever do that. I know you back in the dating game, and this is all new to you. Don't you ever, ever, if a man is supposed to reach out to you and he don't do it, fuck him. Okay? Your fingers are broken. Your the buttons don't mash anymore. You do not never chase after a man. You don't call him, ask what the fuck he was doing, where he was, what happened, why didn't you call me? You don't do none of that. None of that. Because he didn't call you because he didn't want to. Okay, there's the answer to all those questions. He didn't want to do it, and that's why he didn't do it. So you don't need to call him and ask him why. Where was you? What was you doing? I was waiting for you. I was expecting to call. I thought we was going to get together. All the stuff that you guys be saying, you don't need to say none of that because everything that he did to ignore you, he did it with intent and purpose. Now, once you can accept that, there's no, it's like no little Martians came and sucked him up and took him out to space and stuff, and there was no cell phone service out there. He didn't want to talk to you. And so he didn't. I don't know why more women just don't understand that. You don't be calling me and checking up on him like that. He's supposed to call you. He don't call you. Block him. So then he can't call you. And you could let's clearly move on with your life without giving him a second thought. Okay? That's how you handle that kind of stuff. You don't play them games with them. Well, I don't know. He was interested in some booty, but he didn't get none. So he got mad. He got an attitude. Because he drove that little hour and got all mad because he didn't get no trim. But it's like these dudes. It's like that ain't enough. I'm telling you, I'm gonna sleep with you. I want $50,000 in my offshore bank account. That's what I want. And you better not have no trash dick either. Because other than that, I want it double. You got to pay me a trash dick fee. Yeah, I don't know. These dudes, ugh, they just are nauseating to me. But anyway, that's how you handle that girlfriend. You're going to be out here in this singles world. You better put up some firmer boundaries and handle yourself better. And the number one thing you do not do is ever text the man or call him and ask him shit about where he was or why he didn't do something. Okay, just remember, he didn't call, he didn't want to call. He didn't come by, he didn't want to come by. He didn't follow up about a date, that means he didn't want to go on the date. Okay, how hard is that? Why everybody try to act like these things have double meanings or some shit? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm the only one that can cuss here for everybody. In case you were confused, that's my domain. Okay, let's move on to question number 9. Female 30 to 36 out the UK. I have been seeing my boyfriend for 11 months and I needed to tell him my job. I can hear you saying that's not too bad. Just do it. Well, I was an escort. I paid all tax as a self-employed person. It is legal here in the UK. When I finished school, I had no GCSEs to talk of. What is that? Regular student loan something. My parents threw me out at GSSE time results time. I got on a cooking apprenticeship, and whilst I was doing that, I needed money. A friend introduced me to escorting, and well, I started earning some good money. Dropped off my cooking course and been doing this for 10 years. The majority of clients were lovely and nice, but I met my current boyfriend on a night out. He just knows I'm a personal assistant. Deb, I followed for him though, and he has followed for me, but not knowing the whole truth. I needed to come clean. My mind was going crazy not telling him. I've applied to study at the Open University to escape this career. I know my job is my choice, and I've previously tried leaving it so many times, but with no formal qualifications, employers don't want to know. Even the supermarket turned me down. I am job hunting currently, too. I had lunch with him on Monday, and I told him. He told me that he needs time to think, and he would be in touch soon. I've really messed up. I know I misled him. I know I'm a horrible person. I tried telling him 6 months ago, but backed out because I got scared. He did text me saying, well, because you quit working, are you going to struggle for rent or are you going to be homeless soon? Regardless of what happens between us, don't take this as me deciding anything. I don't want to see you on the streets. Any help, advice, anything is much appreciated. Okay, you broke the cardinal rule. You broke the cardinal rule. I'm trying to figure out why you felt the need to tell him that. Why does he need to know about 10 years of your life before you met him? What was the benefit there? Did it make your relationship better? Did it bring you two closer? Did it put more money in your bank account? Did it help you get a degree in college so that you could get a job? What did it do of a positive nature when you opened your big ass mouth and told him that? Why would you need to do that? I'm so curious. You need to think about that. See, this is the kind of stuff that drives me crazy where women be like, oh, but I just wanted to be honest. I want to be honest. You don't have to be honest about your past. That's your past. You know to ask him about his, and he's not gonna tell you. And you should have kept your mouth closed. Because what you do to survive, if your parents tossed you out on the street, whatever you did to survive, that's your damn business. Obviously, you did well. And so here you are 10 years later, still in one piece. Obviously, you still look good because you can still did do that work for 10 years. So that means you kept yourself together. Okay, but now suddenly because you fell in love, you feel like you need to just spill your guts. That's the kind of stuff you don't tell men because they can't fucking handle it. They can't handle it. So yes, you messed up. This relationship is over. So next time, be very, very wise about it. Find yourself some other kind of job, and then keep your mouth closed in the future. Nobody needs to know your business but you. Okay, I don't know why women have these big ass mouths and want to tell every goddamn thing. Just tell me and everything. When are you gonna fucking learn? Shut up. Stop talking so much. You just don't have shit to do with your time and stuff. You just running your mouth, always talking, and telling some shit you don't have no business saying. All men do when you tell them stuff like that is use it against you. So now every time if you stayed around, every time you had an argument, yeah, and I can just see you now with those guys, and I bet you did this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he's going to keep throwing it up in your face, trying to guilt trip you about it and shame you and embarrass you and stuff for some choices that you had to make out of complete desperation. Either that or what you going to do. Okay? It's not easy when your parents throw you out on the street and you don't have no job training and no education. What do they think you are going to do? Okay? So, think about that in the future because this just toss this shit up to whatever. And if you need to go back to it for a minute to get your money straight so you can go back to school, do that. But don't be spending. Downsize whatever you living in. Downsize. If you got some designer clothes and some shit like that, you need some for your work, I would imagine. But, I'm sure you don't need as much as you got. You're going to be seeing different dudes. You can wear different outfits. Shit. Go to some secondhand stores. Get some nice stuff on the consignment stores and stuff like that. Save your money because you're going to need it. Question number 9. Oh, wait, that was 9. 10. This is a male, 30 to 36 out of Nashville. I'm a guy in his 30s and have not been in a relationship for most of my life. Not for lack of trying, but that's a different story. I usually work in female-dominated environments. I don't mind it, but what usually happens is at some point, one of the women will ask me in front of everybody whether I'm in a relationship. I say, no, I'm not. Then from that moment on, every few weeks, I have to deal with comments from female and occasionally male staff. Some examples of random, unprovoked comments. Number 1, I'd set you up with my friend, but you're just too short for her. Damn. Number 2, after saying I spent a weekend learning about the stars, no wonder you're still single. Wow. Number 3, male staff member asking other women in front of me, would you date a guy his height? Number 4, hey, you should join Tinder. I'd swipe right on you so at least you'd have one match. Wow. Number 5, when was the last time you were able to get a date? I usually handle these comments with some grace and humor, but it's insulting, tiring, and frankly unprofessional. I'm now going to start a new job, and it looks likely to be female-dominated again. Please don't respond with ignore them, rise above it. You shouldn't care what other people think. I don't know who you thought you was writing. If you think that's going to be my answer, I don't never say that shit. I'm fully aware of that, but I would like to make it clear that talking about my private life is off limits. I expect that someone will ask me whether I'm in a relationship, married, etc., and I just want to ignore the question or change the subject. I don't think it's any of their business. I can't imagine going up to a female staff member on her first week and asking if she's in a relationship. It would result in a sexual harassment claim before I could even make my morning tea. How do I avoid answering questions about my relationship status at work? What would you suggest I say? You ask, dude, with my classic. You look at them with that tilted head to the side, puppy face, and say, now, why would you need to know that? That's my classic answer. Every time somebody asks me some shit they don't have no business asking about my personal life in an inappropriate setting like at work, why would you need to know that? And they get to stuttering and stammering and be like, I was just curious. Oh, I say, oh, and then I just walk away. I never answer those questions. None of their goddamn business. But let's go back and talk about how you need to respond if people on your new job ask you stuff like this. I'd set you up with my friend, but you're too short for her. Well, I mean, what do you want? I mean, it's just too bad your friend is like related to the Jolly Green Giant or some shit. What you want from me? I don't date Amazons. I date regular women. Okay. Number two, spent the weekend learning about the stars. No wonder you're still single. Say, single because I need a woman who's got some sense and who understands constellations and more than fashion magazines and hair and nails. That's not you. So, of course, that would just totally go over your head. Stuff like that. You got to slam them, make them feel stupid. Okay, they trying to be cute. Slam them. And when you do it, that kind of stuff, it's not sexual harassment. You just telling the truth. You're a stupid bitch. And that's why you don't know nothing. And you think that that's you the only kind of woman who would want a man, want a man who doesn't know anything about the universe and the stars and the planets and all that kind of stuff because you're too dumb. You're just a dumb bitch and you don't know shit. So, you can't say that at work, though, but you're going to imply it. Or number three, a guy saying, would you ask a woman, would you date a guy his height? You supposed to turn around to those women and say, would you date a guy with his low IQ? Okay. And then, like, with how you should join Tinder, I swipe right on you so you'd have at least one match. Don't expect to swipe back because you ain't my type. Or number five, when was the last time you was able to get a date? Is that what it says? When the last time you were able to get a date? Why you worried about it? You want my leftovers? What you trying to say here? Or some whatever comes to your mind. But anyway, you get the idea. You respond with snark and condescension. And just cap on them back. They're gonna be opening that door. Like I tell you, you're gonna open the door, we just gonna go right through it. You know. And don't just because a dude is small in stature, that don't mean he got a small dick. Trust me. That's not true. That's not true. It's sometimes, but then you get them big dudes that have little ones too. Usually, the guy dudes that's about, I'd say about 5'10" to 6 feet, have the biggest ones. If they too tall or too short, you start getting it's a 50-50 bet. As you see, I've studied this. I put a lot of work into this. But, that's the kind of stuff you guys, people, I think because they're at work and they feel like, I don't want to, say stuff like that. As long as you don't use profanity or say something that's sexist, that goes into the Title IX issue, well, then you're fine because you're just responding with the snark that they've given you. And once you start doing people like that, they shut up because they say, okay, we never know what's going to come out of his mouth. So let me just leave that dude alone. Okay. I don't know if he got a complex or not. He's tired of people fucking with him at his job. So, it's not his fault he got a complex. If anything, they have a complex about him. So let's put this in a proper perspective. They're the ones picking on him, Lee. He didn't do anything to them. So there's not the one with the complex. They are. They're the one ganging up on him and bullying him about his height and his singleness. That is some bullshit. Okay? And that's some shit like if I worked with somebody and they were doing this kind of stuff to somebody, I would step in and check them. It's like, leave him the fuck alone. That's none of your business what he dates and who he dates or his height or nothing else. Don't you have something to do? Worry about your relationship before you worrying about his so much. You better be keeping an eye on your man and your woman before they be cutting some corners and dipping out on you because you too focused on everybody else. You need to be minding your own business and what's going on at your house. And I make sure I call and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? What your mama doing? Just to start some shit. I had no intention of messing with nobody's man, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta give people a lesson. So as soon as the dude would start saying, "Oh, Deb this and Deb that," see, that's when women get jealous and then they be paying attention. That's what you want. So to distract that bitch from talking about this dude to worry about you, worry about your old motherfucker. That's what you need to do. Okay? And I would start so much shit at her house, and she would be more focused on that after that and leave him alone. I don't like that kind of stuff. So anybody who does that around me at work and stuff like that, any jobs I've ever had, I always intervene. I hate to see that kind of stuff. And once I get started, they ain't gonna fuck with me. So I'll be like, come on, do this what you got. Bring it. Bring your best. And let's go. Let's do this. and they be like, oh, uh, they know they don't want none of this. They don't want none of this because this will go on and on and on and read you. Yeah, it's bullying, and that's why they do it. Is again, this gang, that gang fashion, and that's why you have to, as a person who, doesn't like that kind of stuff. That's why I would step in. Male, female, it doesn't matter. Young, old, you gonna do some fucked up shit. Be prepared for me to fire back at you because that's just wrong. Question number 11. This is from a male in the 26 to 29 age group out of Oslo, Norway. Wow, I don't think I've ever had a question from there. Where did he find me? I'm in a relationship and we've been together for 10 months now since the start of January. Everything has been great, but there's something that has been bothering me, and that's about the eggplant side of things. We haven't had eggplant in a couple of weeks, and I had a chat with her about what's going on. It's always been me who takes initiative when we are having it. She told me that she's not really aware and does not think of it, so that's why she's not very interested and take much initiative. She also responded with saying that we don't need to have it all the time. All I want is for her to take initiative. So recently, she got promoted to the leading manager slash boss at her job at an interior store. She's new and needs to take things slow as there's a lot of new information to take in. Her job is on her mind most of the time, but not 24/7, as she admitted. I don't think this is the reason, though. I mean, what's a relationship without eggplant? Is this something I should worry about, or can I just let it go? No, if you're not feeling it, then just go on somewhere else. Because, see, this is the thing that just drives me crazy. Okay, you ain't married. You just some little raggedy ass boyfriend, and you trying to make all these demands about what you want and stuff. Get out. The girl's worrying about her career and she's focused on that. And you know very well how consuming it is to try to move up and to establish yourself. She's in her 20s. So you in the 28, 26 to 29 age group, right? Yeah, 26 to 29. So she's probably in there too, maybe even a little younger. She's trying to get herself established. Instead of helping her, all you worried about is your dick. See, you the kind of motherfucker that would get cussed out and tossed out of my life. I'm like, you not adding nothing to here. I'm till you see I'm striving and grinding, and all you can worry about is your dick. I tell you, these motherfuckers just be tripping me out. What's a relationship without eggplant? Get you a blow up doll and have a relationship with that. Okay, that's the only criteria you have for a relationship. You just want to use a woman's body. That's why she don't want to do it with you because she knows that's what time it is. You're not even reading between the lines. You need to pack your shit and get the fuck on. That's what you need to do. You shouldn't have wrote me with this shit. You should have known you was going to get cussed out. I don't like this kind of stuff. You're not doing nothing to help her. All you're doing is complaining about the time and energy that she spends on trying to grind to the top. You ain't helping her. You trying to distract from it, whining about your dick. Motherfucker. Yeah, I want him to. I want you to leave. I want you to leave her. That's what I want you to do. I want you to leave her so she can have peace of mind and come home and prepare for the next day as the new supervisor and learn her job and deal with the stresses of her job and climb and climb and climb. That's what I want. And you in her way. You are flatly in her way. You and your dick. All up in her path, keeping her from doing what it is she's trying to do. What's a relationship without eggplant, he says here. Wow. Question number 12. Let's move on from that trash. Female 30 to 36 from, how do you say this? Bournemouth? Bournemouth? Something like that, England. Shortly before I met my boyfriend, she puts in parentheses D, I purchased my first home and fully remodeled it. Ooh, look at you doing big things. When we met, D had just graduated from college and had moved back in with his parents to save money. This meant that he was spending most nights at my house, and I was starting to feel the financial burden of having a roommate that was not paying any rent. Less than 6 months into dating, I officially asked him to move in with me to help resolve this issue. At the time, he was aggressively paying off his student loans. I was fortunate to have parents that paid for my education, so we agreed to an uneven split that would allow him to continue paying off those loans. After we had been living together for about a year, I was starting to feel stressed about money. I was paying for two-thirds of our monthly expenses. What D was giving me basically covered our utilities and nothing more. In addition, I have two dogs that while D loves like his own, the expenses fall entirely to me. There's also been tension surrounding the fact that I own the house and he's just paying rent, despite me always referring to everything as ours. We had a discussion and began splitting the mortgage and utilities equally. I've always gotten the feeling that D thinks if he had chosen where we live, he could be saving money. I believe that for the value of the space, the cost is very reasonable. For reference, the house is a two-bedroom, two-bath on a third of an acre in a desirable urban neighborhood. Wow, I want that spot. The entire house was remodeled, so everything inside is brand new. While we are now splitting the cost of the mortgage, this doesn't take into account the fact that I pay for every piece of furniture, linen, decor, and kitchen item in the home. What I'm saying is, if he were to go out and rent the equivalent of our home and furnish it and stock it, it would cost him a lot more. Despite agreeing to split things evenly, D still freaks out over having to pay for certain things home insurance, any home maintenance projects, even the cost of our grocery bill the first month he saw it astounded him. These are the things I have been paying for on my own the entire time we live together. I don't want to be one of those couples that fight over finances, but I also feel very uncomfortable whenever I have to ask him to split these costs. I don't think I would feel this way if we were renting a space together or both of our names were on the mortgage. Any advice for how to have these conversations about where one partner moved into the home owned by the other? What costs are fair to split and which should fall to me as a homeowner? Anything to do with that house is on you. Is on you. You don't want to feed your two dogs, get the fuck rid of them. Okay? Those are your responsibilities. You had those before he came. He don't have shit to do with your dogs. He don't have no responsibility for your mutts. Okay? And then you trying to get him to pay your mortgage. Bitch, are you crazy? That's your job. Anything to do with your house, the mortgage, the insurance, all that stuff, that's you. Okay? Now, what he should be doing is definitely buying some groceries because his ass is eating and paying on some utilities because he's running up the light bill and all that stuff. Two people use up way more than just one. And, contributing to like buying toilet paper and laundry soap and paying the water bill and stuff like that. But should he be paying half of your mortgage? Absolutely not. I don't know where the fuck you got that idea from. That's your house. He don't get no benefit from paying half of your mortgage. He's nice because I would have cussed you out and told you out your mind. I'm not paying shit. And no, it's not she has a grown son. You got the wrong attitude. She invited him to move in there. Okay? And it's not like he's not paying. He is. She just, they're having some disputes about it because he doesn't see why he should be paying half of her mortgage. And I agree with him. He should not be paying anything on her house. Not one red cent on her mortgage. Now, he should be paying other stuff because he would definitely be eating no matter where he was. He would be paying some lights and power bills and, that kind of stuff no matter where he was. But should he be paying a mortgage and stuff? And then she complained about the stuff that she bought in her house. Her furniture and appliances and whatnot. Bitch, you crazy. That's on you. You had all of that before he even moved in. So none of that is his responsibility to help pay for that. Your furniture and all that stuff, you are tripping hard. She's dumb. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is like you got a dude who's coming over your house and spending weekends and stuff at your house. He's supposed to walk in the door with some groceries. Walk in the door with something to contribute so, reduce the cost, the impact of him being in your residence for 2 or 3 or 4 days at a time. That shouldn't impact your wallet. He's supposed to cover that cost, okay, because you got your other expenses. He gets to be in a nice new remodeled house for 4 or 5 days. That should be enough. But for you to expect him to come out of pocket and pay half your mortgage and half the insurance and all this other shit, the demands you putting on this boy, you're out of your mind. You're lucky he hasn't cussed you out and left. Then you get to pay all of it, all by yourself. So maybe that's what you should do and tell him to move back out. Because it's like, well, she might be tired of paying the bills, but then she shouldn't have made them. She bought the house. She's the one that decided to remodel it from the ground floor up, bought all new appliances and everything. The house is new. She did that before he moved in. Okay? It's her house. Those are all her expenses. That's her shit. He don't own none of that. None of that is his responsibility to pay for. That's all her stuff. If she decided to sell that house tomorrow, would he get a dime out of it? No, because he's not on the note and he's not on the deed. He's not nowhere. His name is not nowhere. He don't have no responsibility for that house. That's all on her. So I don't know. I would just tell them, like, I'll pay for this other stuff, but I'm not paying shit on your house. That's on you. So that's the conversation that you need to have. Okay, because no matter where he was, he would be paying some of that. But you was covering the mortgage, and it's only your house. It's not like a rent where you guys can be, both on the lease and paying half. This is your mortgage. This is your mortgage. Okay, he has no financial investment in your house. No benefit will come to him for spending money on your house. It benefits you, but not him. And I've said the same shit if it was a woman moving in with a man, as I have done. That's just, you just don't do that. That's your shit. Question number 13, female 37 to 45 out of Portland. We've been together for a long time. He's always snored. Oh. But for the last 5 to 6 years, it has gotten progressively worse to the point that if he goes to sleep first, I can't sleep. I work full time as well as having 2 children. I'm surviving on 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. He has been to an ENT specialist and a sleep clinic and requires an operation, but he won't have it done as he doesn't see why he should have the operation. I'm tired all of the time. The kids used to be able to sleep through it, but now it's to the point where he wakes them up as well. My family thought I was exaggerating until we shared a house on a holiday a couple of years ago, and they all complained about it. We no longer sleep in the same bed as I end up on the sofa. My back constantly hurts because of this. He can see the effect it's having on me and still won't have the operation. I love him, but I can't live like this anymore, and if he's not prepared to do something about it, I can't see any other option. I mean, he has a solution to this that would help his entire family, and this selfish motherfucker don't want to do it because it might inconvenience him for a few days. I would leave his ass. When you're sleep deprived, that affects your heart too. It affects your concentration. You're going to start messing up at work, and it distracts you. So your likelihood of you getting into, I hate to tell you this, but this is the real truth. The likelihood of you getting in an auto accident is high because you'll be like falling asleep behind the wheel and all kind of stuff. You'll be like distracted, not really focused. You got 2 kids that's going to be in the car with you. This is critical. This is critical that you get some proper rest. Okay, you're sleep deprived for a number of years now. So, tell him that either he gets the operation or you two are separating. And then that make it happen. What is all this activity? Either kick him out. Okay, something is really going on. All these sirens. Somebody did something bad. Um, either kick him out or you take the kids and you leave. I'm like, it's like 7 cop cars just shot by my house. Something real funky must have happened. I wonder what it is. Um, yeah, and as far as you sleeping on the sofa, you don't have to sleep on the sofa. Get you one of them air mattresses or a futon. You'll be, like on the floor, but at least it'd be better than sleeping on a lumpy, bumpy couch. And futons are, they're good for your back. And, you just roll it up and put it in the corner and stuff. And you could do that until you guys decide what you're going to do. But I would not recommend that you continue this path. It's too dangerous. It's bad for your health. It's bad for the kids' health. Not getting enough rest will stunt their growth. They won't do well in school. It's like it's a trickle down effect. Your whole family's being negatively affected rather by your selfish ass husband. Man, just wake him up and slap him. Every time he snores, slap the shit out of him. Just bop him with something. Wake him up. So you were snoring. Stand there every time he snores, hit him. He didn't want to get that operation because he had to be black and blue. Wow, this is terrible. For 5 to 6 years, you've been putting up with this. There's no way. I couldn't do that for 5 days. Question number 14, male 30 to 36 out of Tucson. This is question 14 of 25. On Tuesdays, we be having 25 questions. 25 long questions. If you want to submit your question for consideration, you got something you're thinking about, I need an answer to this. This is really bothering me. I don't understand what's going on here. In the show description below, you'll find a link. And this part the title says Get Advice. Click that link and it'll take you to the advice submission form. And just click it, type in what your question is, all the information. Click the box, which makes a release for us to use the question on the air, and you're good to go. Remember, though, not every question gets picked, but if you don't submit it, it definitely won't get picked. So let's move on to number 14, male 30 to 36 out of Tucson. Can you really be too busy to date, he says? I keep hearing that from women, and I'm skeptical. I mean, how can someone be so busy that they can't find the time to seriously date a person? I've been told that no matter how busy your life gets, if you really care, like someone, you will find the time somehow. What is your take on this? That's not true. You can like somebody as much as you want to, but if you, it depends on how focused you are. If you are a person that is very focused on your goals and achieving them, it doesn't matter how much you like somebody. Your time is not gonna be free because you on your grind, and your time is valuable. And the time that you're not on your grind, you need to be resting. And that's just how it is. I know men aren't used to that because y'all used to being the top priority. Women dropping everything and chasing after you and just canceling on their friends and doing all kind of stuff because they want to be up under you and look at you and make themselves available for you. So when you meet a woman who's been like, no, I'm not doing that, you think something's wrong with her. But in reality, she's the one who's right. The ones who are dropping everything, dropping their entire lives to put you in a front and center position are the ones that's got something wrong with them. They don't have any dreams. They don't have any vision. They don't have any goals. They're just like just existing to live with, to be up under some man. Okay, and I know y'all like that kind of stuff because it makes you feel important, like you the big shit and all that old stuff. But in reality, a woman who's about something, who's trying to make a name for herself, who's trying to achieve something, she don't have time for you. She'll have time for you when she's finished getting to where she's trying to go. But right now she's trying to get there, and you're not a priority, sir. And so yes, she's too busy to date, and that's all it is to it. This is just kind of really interesting how he seriously, how can you be too busy to date? Easy. I feel like I need to clone myself. I was talking about that with one of my friends yesterday. All the stuff I wanted to have 2 books I'm trying to finish. I have a booklet for a client I need to work on. I need to finish updating my website. It's showing some error codes. Yeah, I got to start getting ready for February. You try to find time to exercise and eat and, clean your house and all this kind of stuff. My schedule, my plate is so full, barely have time to breathe. And I don't have time to get everything done that I need to do. And so you think I'm gonna put anything aside that I'm trying to do to make room to look at your face? You ain't that important, son. You are not that important to me. And you just sit up there and complain about it. I mean, you just rolling into my life and you think you're supposed to get like a position in the front and center? You lucky if you even get a seat on the boat at all. Okay, you're gonna have standing room only over there in the back somewhere. You on the boat, be happy. But other than that, I don't know. And more women are getting like that. They're just like, I fuck these motherfuckers. I'm going to do what I need to do for me. I'm trying to achieve for myself. I'm trying to get this degree so I can, come up and help, provide for my kids better. They got dreams. They have, focus on themselves like that. And men aren't used to it. They are used to always being a priority to women. And so women who don't subscribe to that nonsense, these guys are like looking all shell shocked and trying to figure out what happened and why they're not important anymore. So why they stock fell. So it's something that you guys need to think about. If you ain't adding no value to a woman's life, what the fuck she need to make time for your ass for? Especially when you got trash dick. On top of that, at least if you was putting down some pipe, she might make time for you at least once a week. But you come in there, you roll in there with your 3-5 minute ass dick, and you think somebody's gonna make time for you? Get out of here. I mean. Question number 15. What happened to all my super chat donations? They done dried up. What happened to the cussing and the wine fund? I guess there's just no love. That's all right. Question number 15. A female 21 to 26 from not Nashua? Nashua. I wonder where that is. Hi, Deb. I love listening to your show. Thank you for the insight and witty advice you give to us single ladies. I listen to you at work, and it's so hard to keep a straight face. I already have my mind made up, but I want to know what your thoughts are on this situation. I live in San Diego. I'm 23 years old. I went on a date recently with a guy I met on the swipey thing. Uh-oh. Before meeting him, we texted, and he seemed perfect for me. He's 25, 6'3", broad shoulders, handsome, smart, very attentive, and observant, observate, which is something you talked about. When I met him for our dinner date, he looked just like the pictures online, but my interest dwindled when I heard his voice. He sounded girly. Oh no. I could tell he was nervous, which is very much understandable and endearing to me. I tried to put it to the back of my mind, but during the whole date, I just felt disappointed. He was very much a gentleman, which I appreciate. After the date, he messaged me asking to take me out again. I was going to let him down politely, but I talked to a friend of mine. She said to give him a second chance. Nobody's perfect, and that I might miss out on a great guy. I decided a second date wouldn't hurt to confirm my theory. I just want to know what you think about the whole situation. Everything else is fine, just his voice. I don't think he's gay. Thank you in advance. Well, when people are nervous, I mean, I'm not saying thanks, Tony. And whoever, let me scroll up and see. I know Lady Boss is thanking you. Thanks, Amanda. Um, when you get nervous, your voice you get tight in the throat, and so it might come out a little higher. Like some kids, like the little adolescents, as their voice starts changing and they're nervous, their voice will squeak. It's the same thing with men. That when they're relaxed and confident, their voices are low and mellow, and when they're nervous and their throat is tight, the voice is gonna be higher. So I like the idea that you said, just give it a second chance. It's everything that you like, everything about him is just this one thing. Because, it's never too late after the second date. If it's still like that and he's still that tense or his voice is still that, high pitched or girly or whatever, then for sure. Otherwise, like I said last week, I mean, women are just very audible. Hey, Anonymous, thank you. Women are very auditory. There's no way around it. We, what we hear is important to us, and it can be a turn on or it can be a turn off, and it's nothing. I mean, that's biological. You can't really get around it. But give it a chance and see, because like I said, that is scientific fact. When you get nervous, your voice gets higher. You know, so give him a shot and see what happens, and if his voice drops a few octaves or not. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Ravania. Yes, thank you. Um, Give that a shot though. But I mean, drop me a note after and just let me know. Just to follow up. You don't have to make it like an advice letter. Just send me an email, quick email to survivingdating@gmail.com and let me know what happened and if it's a or if it's a okay. Let me know because I'm very curious. Question number 16, female 30 to 35 out of Philly. Deb, she says, how do I get over feeling grossed out by my dad's young girlfriend? She's okay, I guess. Not someone I would ever be friends with in the real world, but she's not terrible. And my dad seems really happy. She does not meet the half your age plus 7 rule. She's exactly 5 years older than me. I'm 30 and she's 35. What the hell? I'm trying so hard just to be happy for them. Sometimes it works. Then she'll say something so young. It makes me feel sick to my stomach. He absolutely dates younger women because no woman his age will put up with his BS. But for all his faults, I still love him and I still want a relationship with him. How do I get over this? She has moved in with him, so apparently this one is serious. I want to know how to not feel sad and gross every time I see them together. It's frustrating. I feel way too old to be having angsty dad girlfriend problems. Any advice is much appreciated. Girl, I don't know because this is kind of odd. And I'm gonna share something with you, and I know you guys are gonna be grossed out. But this is how I feel. When men get with a woman who's like close age to their daughter, I always in the back of my mind see you really want to be fucking your daughter, but you scared. And you know that's not gonna fly, so you get the next best thing. There will be no reason in this world why a man would get. Sometimes they get it even younger than their daughter, the same age as their daughter. See, then I started thinking about Donald Trump, where he's talking about, well, if she wasn't my daughter, I would date her. Remember him saying that? A lot of men think like that. On those popcorn sites, they have a lot of those kind of fantasies, or dad-daughter combos. That is a thing with a lot of men. So when I see stuff like this, it means those alarm bells. I can understand why you would be grossed out because I would be too. Perhaps sit down with your dad and have a conversation. Like, what is this? You knew that she's only 5 years older than me. You know how nasty that is to me? That's gross. Could you find somebody closer to your age that's still younger than you, but not like within a stone's throw in age away from me? Like, could have been my big sister or something. This is gross, Dad. it's like uber growth. I don't know. I wouldn't want. I'm saying I told you guys I was going to gross you out. I apologize in advance, but everything I'm telling you is the truth. Do you know that that's a quote that Trump said? He was bold with it, and a lot of men have those fantasies. I'm sorry, and you know how the stuff that be happening with girls and their own daddies tipping into their rooms and stuff like that. So don't act like this does not happen. Okay, it does happen. So I'm just saying, there's something wrong with these men. He should be too ashamed to even mess with somebody as close to his daughter's age. That's why I could never mess with nobody close to my daughter's age. That would be just nasty to me. You know, mm, that's. That's like a kid. I just couldn't. So that would be what I would suggest. You guys that need to talk this out. To let him know how you feel, and he's gonna tell you either he appreciates or he don't give a fuck. But either way, you would have voiced your feelings and gotten it out, and then you two can go on from there. But holding it in, I mean, right to me is good. I can help you think it through, but you're gonna hold on to these feelings every time you see that woman. So you have to speak up. You have to say something. Yeah, it's just really gross. You trying to get your mind off of Trump? No, you can't do that. Not until after the election. Question 17. Female 30 to 36 out of Bristol in the UK. My fiance and I have been together for 3 years. About 10 months ago, I moved in with him per his request. Also, my 7-year-old son is with me. My fiance owns the house, free and clear, no house note. Since I moved in, he has decided I should pay him rent. For the last 10 months, I have been paying half of all the bills and also all of my own bills, including everything for my son. Oh, you getting took. I also pay about double what my fiance pays for food and house supplies. He has a 16-year-old son, and his son's girlfriend that also eats here a lot. Wow, you dumb. I have paid for everything in the home to decorate and furnish it. Wow. Also, when I first moved in, I spent about $6,000 fixing it up. Man, I did all the work on my own with no help. I painted and fixed almost everything that needed being fixed. He really wants a lot of rent from me and says it's not fair I live in a home rent free just because he paid it off. Do I need to pay him rent? He makes me feel like an awful person because I'm not help. Oh, no, no, no. This is what we're going to do with that motherfucker. I hope you have receipts for everything that you bought and the going labor rate for the work that you did on his house. You're going to present his fucking ass with an itemized statement, just like if you were a contractor. This is what I bought. Here's the receipts. This is the markup. This is the labor cost. And you give his ass, you spent $6,000. So that means with all the labor and everything, all the other stuff that you bought in the house, you probably in $15,000, $20,000. You say, here's the bill for that. I'm not giving you fuck until that's used up at the rate of $1,000 a month. So either you give me all my money and I'll move right back out, or I'm going to stay here and I ain't paying you shit except buying some stuff for my son. You gonna feed your raggedy ass son and his girlfriend, whoever other little street running folks you want to have up in here. You gonna feed them. I'm not buying no motherfucker shit. And I'll get me my own separate refrigerator in the garage, lock my shit up, and then that would be that. That was my food for me and my son, and y'all make it happen in whatever way you want to. Until you either give me my money or I'm just gonna stay here rent free and bills free until all this is used up. And there's no way you should be paying half. He got two people and you got two people. So, and he got his son's girlfriend living there and all that stuff. And 16-year-olds use way more food and power playing video games all night and all that kind of stuff than 7-year-olds because they go to bed at 8 o'clock. So, you just got took. You got took for real. That's why he wanted you to move in. He got his house free and clear, and you coming in there like a contractor. I'd give his fucking ass a bill, show would. $25,000 for all the work I did. And you know what? With your receipts and all the work you did and all the stuff that you bought, if you took his ass to court, you would win. Tell him that. Okay? And if when you leave, everything that you bought that's not nailed down, pack it up on a moving truck and take it with you. Any furniture you bought, kitchen appliances, shit on the wall, curtains, blinds, everything. You put it on that moving truck and leave with it. Boop, deuces, because it's my shit. I pay for it. Unless, like I said, you stay there and you earn it, he pays it off, or he writes you a check that it better not bounce. Either way, unless he gives you some money, you stay there, and or if he don't want to give it to you, then you pack your shit and pack up everything that you bought. And it was me, God, such an evil bitch. I put a floor in. I'm ripping them shit up board by board. And it don't matter if I could use the wood or not. You ain't using it, motherfucker. You're gonna be walking on some bare cement and some foundation and shit, just like it was when I came up in here. Now. Or you could go out there in the garage and put that raggedy flea bitten carpet back down here. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. But all the stuff that I put in this house, I'm taking it down. Any sheetrock I put up, I'm ripping that too. I'm punching holes in it. I'ma fuck your house up. So it's like you not gonna give me my money. You gonna pay it somehow. Either you pay it to me or you gonna pay it to the next contractor to fix it. But since it's my sheetrock and it's my wood on the floor, I feel like I could be able to do whatever the fuck I want to it because it's mine. And there you go. So he wouldn't want to tangle with me. Oh no. Mm-mm. First of all, I would never have agreed to that. It's like, wait, I'm moving into your house and you got a 16-year-old that eats 3 times as much as my 7-year-old, and you want me to go and I'm supposed to be paying more in groceries? Motherfucker, what crack you been smoking? You tripping. I'ma live up in here and I'm not paying you a goddamn thing. What's he gonna do? Once you move in here, how you gonna make you pay? I wouldn't be paying his ass shit. Okay, move on. He makes me feel like an awful person. Girl, you need to cuss his ass out. Question number 18, female 30 to 36, Elizabeth. Plus, you got all that money. Why don't you buy your own house? I'm confused. Female 30 to 36 out of Elizabeth, New Jersey. Ooh, I never heard of that. I'm 30 and I really suck at dating. My last two, quote, dates were not good. The first one, I asked if he added me. The first date I asked for as he added me on social media when I left the workplace. We were colleagues and flirted in the past. He took me to a really nice, expensive place, but did not make much effort after and just said he would like to take it slow, etc. In the end, we just never talked, and he's looking for a girl online dating. I look and realize the interest was never there. Exactly. It was never there, which is why you had to ask him out. If he was interested, he would ask you, right? Okay? Well, I don't know why you women don't get this. The second one took me out and paid. We just spoke as friends after that. He invited me out again with 2 other friends and kept saying about how people who look like me are not attractive. Wow, he said that? When I called him out, he said he never saw me as anything but a friend, even though I am a lovely person. And you didn't cuss him out for saying that? What would Deb do? People who look like me are not attractive. Oh, yeah, he did. And she still stayed there talking to him. He would have become every kind of funky, stupid ass, ugly ass, retarded motherfucker I could have thought of. And right in front of his friends, too. I wouldn't have gave a damn. Prior to these guys, I have had 2 guys who just wanted friends with benefits after dating a few dates. I declined this as I want more. It seems men only see me as a friend and I get confused. In the past, I have had a few relationships with objectively attractive men, but in the past few years, I'm just meeting men who just don't like me, have chemistry, etc. I feel embarrassed by my desperate behavior, and I'm wondering if anyone will ever find me attractive. Any advice on how to move on from my embarrassing experiences? Yes, you just pretend like they never happened. You wasn't dating none of them. You don't owe them shit, and you wasn't married, and it was. I mean, what are you tripping about? You just like, okay, well that happened, and then it didn't, as far as I'm concerned. Thanks, Urban. The Ghost Gang. It's I mean, why are you hanging on to that? Why do you think that you need all these different people's approval and all this stuff? I'm kind of confused. But the main thing I'm getting this feeling, girlfriend, is that you're coming across as a little hungry. What you gotta call it? Thirsty. A little too anxious to have a relationship. The best thing, when you get the best out of men, when you don't give a fuck, and you communicate that, it's like, well, I might like you, maybe on alternate Tuesdays and months that end with X, I might, but then again, I might not. I don't know. I can't decide. It all depends. And men love that dynamic. If they like a challenge. If you don't give them one and you just fold over and you're just too easy to get, they don't see any value in you. They didn't have to strive to do anything. They didn't have to do any work to get you. Think about that. You know, you didn't put a whole bunch of details in here, so I'm not. I can't say that's for a fact, but I'm telling you the vibe I'm getting from the way that you wrote things is that's it. You're coming off a little too anxious and a little too available and a little too interested when they don't haven't shown you any kind of reciprocal interest. That kills desire in men. If you need a clue, look at the video I did recently about matching a man's energy, and that might give you some ideas about how to proceed in the future. You give him the energy he gives you. You give him back what he gives you. He barely calls you. You don't ever call him. You barely call him back if he leaves a message. You match his energy. Okay? And then that's how you keep yourself from getting in too deep, too fast with someone who's really not interested in you the way that you think he is. All right? Let's move on to question number 19. Female, 26 to 29, out of Sugar Land, Texas. Oh, I know where that is. This might be dumb, but I need some advice. Every year, I get my boyfriend some awesome birthday gifts. Wait, gifts with an S? I'll plan them out way in advance and choose the perfect ones. For me, he waits until the last minute, puts no thought into it, and we are going through a rough phase due to some lies he got caught in. Anyway, his birthday is nearing, and I'm having trouble deciding what to get him. Something little, a gift card, a sweater. I should have do my usual and pick the perfect gift. I wouldn't get that motherfucker anything. What's wrong with you? He done lied to you, and he's like all callous and last minute and thoughtless about what he gets you for your birthday, and you worried about giving him something. Remember, what did I just say? Give him back the energy that he gives you. So when you say it's like, oh, we'll say happy birthday, and you give him a card, and that's it. And he's gonna be shocked. Well, you didn't give me a present? No. Why should I? Your present disappeared with the lie that you told. Maybe you should have thought about that and not lied. You know, just like Santa Claus. You went into the naughty pile, so you get switches, but I don't give switches, I just give a card. But it's the same principle. You don't get no present. But I don't know. I'm done with men. Like if it's my birthday or some sort of special something like that, and they don't come through, okay, you know that what the deal is. Everybody know you've been giving birthday presents since you was 5 years old, going to your little Kenny's birthday party. You brought a present. Okay, but you got a woman now and you don't get her nothing for her birthday? You acknowledge it any kind of special way? You don't make it memorable for her? Then you know what? Kiss my ass on your way out the door because we're through here, sir. I'm not going to be treated like that. You're not going to give me. No, she should give him a card because that rubs it in more. It's like when you go to a restaurant versus if you're giving somebody $1 tip when they're a fucked up waiter versus leaving them nothing, the dollar's more insulting than nothing. Okay? It's the same thing with him. You get him $1 card, $2 card. I don't know. I don't buy cards, but whatever they cost, some little cheap thing, not a Hallmark. Get some little cheapy card at Walmart or Walgreens or something and put it in an envelope and stuff, and you give it to him, and that's it. Match his energy. I don't give a fuck. It's a last minute thought effort kind of thing. But really, yeah, dollar store, that's what I'm talking about. Made on that cheap paper. My thing is this, you need to pay attention to how a man treats you. He's lying to you, and he's just not caring anything about your birthday. Even if his birthday is not important to him, yours should be. If it's not, why do you guys settle for that? Why do you accept that kind of treatment? I just don't get it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just run out and say, oh, I forgot it was your birthday. And run out and come back with a card. I told you about that boyfriend I had. Wait, I have to demo. Okay, so it's Christmas, right? And he comes to my house where I'm still living with my parents because I was like 18. And he comes in the house and say this piece of paper here is wrapping paper and this is the gift box. He takes the paper and he wraps it around like so. And he comes in the door and he's holding the wrapping paper around the box with his hand like this. There's no thought to it whatsoever. Inside was a Timex watch that he had bought at like Payless drugstore, which is equivalent to, I don't know, I don't know. What's them QV? I don't know. Some, Longs or Rexall or, some little drugstore kind of chain like that. They sell little stuff. They have a little jewelry counter and stuff. That's where he bought this watch. And he's holding the wrapping paper around it like this. And he gives it to me with this. He's giggling and he gives it to me like this. And I took it and I threw it at him and I tossed him out the house. And that was that. And my CVS, there you go, Tansy. That's what I was trying to think of. I could not recall them three letters. And so, my dad was thinking he was going to stay, to dinner with us and have dinner with us and stuff. And so I threw his ass out. And then my dad was like, well, what happened? And I'm like, oh, no, I told my dad what he had done and stuff. And my dad thought that was hilarious. He hit the floor, was telling all his friends about it and everything, and was all proud because I tossed the dude out because I wasn't accepting that kind of, I wasn't accepting that. And that was it. That was the end of our relationship. I mean, on the spot. Just that, but I kind of like that little dude too. But this here, that was it. You're not gonna treat me like that. You're not going to do that. Everybody knows Christmas comes around once a year. You've been knowing for 364 days when Christmas was coming, and that's the best you could do. See, and that made me know right then. Thanks, Tansy. That let me know right then and there how important I was to this man, and that was it. And I was only 18, and I let that go, like on that spot. My dad was so proud of me. He was just telling all his friends. He thought that she was hilarious. I mean, actually, my feelings were hurt. You know what I mean? But I was a little G even then, and so I was like, oh hell no, get the fuck out, get out, get out. Yeah, my daddy just got the biggest kick out of that. So let's move on here. Question 20 of 25. We got 25 questions, so we're nearing the end of this wild ride. Female 21 to 26, it just says USA. My dad grew up in an abusive home because of his narcissistic mother. I do believe that is why one of his brothers stabbed his mother repeatedly as a child. What? I believe because of the abuse in his childhood, that's why he has a hot temper. We have always had a toxic relationship. My mom had a hot temper too, which I believe is due to her dad being a cheater and her mother not showing any emotion or affection. I remember my mom's mom telling me to stop crying at my mom's funeral. Wow. Wow. We are both currently selling our home, which my dad said he put in both of our names, so when he dies, I would have the house. I helped with us getting the house because I got a loan in my name since his credit was bad, and he borrowed money from me to repair the house. I also helped fixing up the house, mainly painting the inside and outside of the house. He is using money from the sale of our current house to pay for the majority of the house he is buying. He put the house in his name only. I was upset about it, so I wasn't really engaging in conversation until I could be at peace with what happened, but I responded when spoken to. I asked him a question. He ignored me, and then the next day wrote down an answer to my question. He hadn't said anything to me since. I wonder if he didn't put my name on a deed because he doesn't need my help or because of an argument we had. We were talking about renting if we couldn't find a house, and he said I would like the home to be in a decent area. He said I need to stop complaining and kept saying that I was uppity, bougie, and want something expensive. I told him that's a bold-faced lie, and he got ticked off more and said he's my father, and I can't talk to him like that. I would need another job just to qualify to rent where I live, which is what I'm looking for. The only hope I have is that since I'm still working, he's unemployed, he may keep me around in case he needs help paying bills. He already told me he's not going to work for anyone because they are racist, and he is working with stocks now. I would like to know how to resolve the situation without leading to an argument. Oh, no, 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 no. Your approach is all wrong. Get your ass to the nearest attorney and get your money. Your daddy is a rogue motherfucker. He's just trying to use you. And you just going along with it because it's your father. You put money into that house. You helped repair that house, and you was helping pay that mortgage, all them bills in that house. Half of that, the proceeds of that house are yours. Any house, anything bought with that money is also half yours. If not, he's supposed to give you the equivalent of what you're owed, which would be thousands and thousands of dollars. And you just gonna let him get away with that? No, girlfriend, no. I don't give a fuck if it is your daddy. Take your ass to an attorney and tell him what happened and sue his ass for your money. That's what you do. And I don't give a fuck if he got, I'm so cold-blooded. I wouldn't give a fuck if the house had to get auctioned. You know what? If I'm going to lose, so is you. Because you ain't going to be living in nothing, living high off of my money, and I'm looking for an apartment. Where they do that shit at? No, 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 no. No, we're not doing that. Mm-mm. Nope. I wouldn't give a fuck if I burn that shit down. You not gonna live in a house that came from the money that you owe me. Either I live in it too, and both of our names is on it, or ain't nobody living in it because the shit's gonna be ashes, or we gonna auction it off. And where are you? Oh, just somewhere in the USA. You don't say what city. It don't even matter. Even if it's some little area where the houses are $125,000, that's still half of that equity that was in that house is yours. So I don't know. I would sue his ass. Girl, I'm telling you, I learned that from Amanda. Burn the whole house down. Just burn it down. But no, he wouldn't be, he would not be doing that. He would not be getting away with that. I'm telling you, consult with an attorney. You can go like, I don't know where you are though. You just say USA, but most states have the bar offers. The state bar in each state has a kind of programs where you can have a consultation with an attorney for a very reduced fee, usually somewhere between $25 and $50. So you go in there and you tell them what happened, the dates, and whatever what you did, if you have receipts and stuff, and how itemize about how much you were paying every month and for how long and all that stuff. So that'll show your investment and the amount of money that you spent on parts and paint and different things that you use to repair the house and tools and the time you spent, all this stuff. All of that has value. All of that would be going if a workman did that. It's called a mechanic's lien, layman's liens. Plumbers liens, whatever. And so they have a lien on your property. So when you sell it, they get their money, whether you pay them or not. But see, this is what happens when people don't know the law. He shouldn't have been able to sell that house without you getting your money out if your name was on the house. How you going to be taking the proceeds and put it on the house and only put it in his name? That's some bullshit. I'm telling you. Yeah, Amanda. We Amanda on the match crew. I'm trying to tell you. There's just no way. Girl, can you see an attorney? Okay? See, please do that like tomorrow. Question number 21. Male, 46 to 55 out of Glendale. I'm sorry, but this is such a strange question to ask, but you're the only one I can think of that will give me a solid answer. Deb, I am a 47-year-old black male dating a 58-year-old white female. She doesn't wear panties. Ever. At first, it turned me on because it was different, but now I think it's kind of weird. I'm curious what she gets out of this. Am I just being jealous? I don't know what to think, to tell you the truth. Well, I mean, I know there are women who say they hate, wearing underpants. I am of the mind that that is some nasty shit. Because once you sit down, that means your labia and your vagina are mashed up against your clothing. Your clothing should not have pussy juice on it. Okay, that's just nasty. That's why people wear underpants, and sometimes women even wear, panty liners and stuff to keep that from happening. I used to go to the gym, and I hate to say this. I know y'all, but the only people who did this was the white girls. And I lived in a very mixed area, and you can see all the black women, all the Latino women had underwear on because, you can see the panty line under their workout pants. The white girls did not wear underpants. And some of them will have these little microscopic shorts on, and they sit down on the equipment. And the weight machines, how they have the thing where your legs go apart, right? Because they have like the grippers, where you put your toes or your toe rests and stuff. So you lift the weight, you have, some resistance. So they're sitting there with their legs gapped open, showing pussy lips. It was just nasty. And then you looking how short their shorts are, just like, it's bare pussy against the leather of the seat in the gym. That's just gross. I was using Clorox wipes and stuff like that a long time before everybody even heard of COVID. I was already wiping shit down after I saw that kind of stuff. Then I left that gym. I was like, this is just too nasty. But, it's like, how you going to have a pussy rot? All kind of yeast infections and stuff. You wonder why you got bacterial vaginosis, shit leaking out your crotch and all this shit. You got funky smells and stuff. And you know what kind of stuff is on the gym equipment? And you just putting that stuff just right into your body? It's gross. It's nasty. It's disgusting. Put some fucking drawers on. Especially you going out in public. You can do what you want to in your house. I'm telling you, in a public setting where other people got to be, sitting on equipment, vaginal juices all on it and shit, you nasty bitch. That's just gross. It's just disgusting and nasty and ridiculous. I'm just telling you. It's not even low key, it's high key. It's just straight up nasty. Oh my God. I'm just telling you. You don't do that. Okay? That's just nasty. Put some fucking drawers on. You're going to be in public. Nobody want to see that shit. Definitely don't want to look at it. I don't want you getting up from the seat and there's a moisture ring there from your pussy juice. That is nasty. I don't want to see that. I don't want that shit on my clothes coming after you. Put some fucking drawers on. You know what I mean? That shit. Then I go sit in my car and now I got your pussy juice and who knows whatever else, your butt drippings and all kind of shit on my clothes, and now it's in my car. Because I had to sit on the equipment and now I got to sit in my car. After you did all that, you nasty hoe. I hate that shit. I love gyms, but I'm not. This part, I'm telling you, this affected me. But I grew up in gyms. I worked in gyms. I love gyms. That's parts I will probably be in the gym for the rest of my life. I don't give a fuck about COVID either. But it's this one thing here. Ho, put on some drawers when you go in fucking public. Like I said, you want to go somewhere on a date with your man and y'all want to do that and you at home or whatever, you do whatever fuck you want to. But you going to have her sitting your ass down and dripping your shit all over some seats other people got to sit on. That, shut up. Why did I look over to see that? But that drives me crazy. That's just, dude, you were a nasty bitch. That's all I'm going to tell you. Her race don't matter, but I'm telling you, that's just, you better think about that. And you tap it, where she come in contact, and then you're going to put your dick up in it. You need to have second thoughts about that. Okay? I would not touch it if it was me. Like, nah, you ain't giving my ass no dick rot. What kind of shit crawled up in you? And you're going to be sitting up there trying to spread that shit to me? I don't think so. I'm just telling you the truth. These are true stories. I told you I worked in gyms for years as a trainer. You could just see it. I mean, it's like I'm steady scrubbing this shit down and spraying. We had the disinfectant spray, and you seeing them up there with this little mini, little terry cloth, little short shorts, and don't have no underwear on underneath them. And this dude too, one time, oh my God, I used to do ball push-ups with my clients, right? So you roll over the ball, so their lower body is supported, and so it's like a real core exercise. So they do the push-ups on the ball, right? So you have to roll over the ball. So we're on the mat part where people do stretching and stuff doing this, and so we look up, and there's this raggedy looking, hippie looking white dude sitting there with his legs wide open. He taught himself stretching. He stretching. He's doing all of this here, over here, and so we look up, right? And you can see Mr. Winky, Mr. Pinky Winky, and two little friends just sitting there looking back at us. And me and the girl, we was like, oh, he ought to be embarrassed. First of all, you need a microscope to see that shit. You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. Close your legs. And he could have turned the other way so that he was facing the wall. You know what I mean? But instead, he wanted to turn so he's facing out because he want to flash everybody. And since I was a trainer, the trainer on duty, I went up to him and I was like, sir, you don't have on no drawers and people are seeing your genitalia that's inappropriate for the facility. I need you to go downstairs and either put on some different clothing or I need you to leave. And if you don't leave, I'm going to call security. You're offending the female guests. And he got all red in the face. That's how I approached him. I'm like, motherfucker, take your nasty little Mr. Winky Geeky out of here and get the fuck up out of this gym. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but he trying to flash people and get his little freak on and stuff. But like I said, we used to have on the weekends, we'd have one, maybe two trainers in there. So when you the only one, you the boss. And I was the boss and they knew it. On the Saturdays when I worked, I ran that gym like a tight ship. And I was like, y'all, you take them weights off the rack. Well, I don't want to get you to get them out. I'm going to write you up and you're going to get a report downstairs and your membership could get canceled because that's a violation of membership policies. Do you want that? Well, no. And so after a couple of times that, I would just look at them and then they would get busy taking their weight plates off. I'm not lifting 45-pound weight plates and you leave all over the bench press machine, motherfucker. I have other stuff to do. Like walk around and look cute and flirt with all the dudes. I'm not here to do like real work. But yeah, I used to love that shit. But I'm just telling you, dude, if you got a woman who want to walk around with no drawers, you need to think about putting your dick up in her because she coming into contact with all kind of bacteria, COVID, all kind of cooties, all kind of viruses, and all kind of shit's washing up in her. And you sticking your dick up in her, you gonna have a problem. Don't say nothing when your shit turn green and fall off. That's why these chicks be having all these different infections and shit, running their asses to the gynecologist. Wonder what the hell is wrong with them. You nasty hoe, put on some panties. Question number 22, female 26 to 29 out of York, UK. So I'm 26 and I've been thinking long term about my life plans. I have been with my boyfriend for about a year and a half. I really want to move in a year from now, but he has been non-committal. It came to a head today when he spoke about my living situation next year as if I'd be living on my own. We had a rough patch this summer, but we never really have been having issues or fighting. Mistakes on both of our parts that I almost ended things, but he expressed a genuine desire to change and work on things. And then stuff went back to being pretty good. However, I am really concerned he's going to say no to living together next year. And to me, that's kind of a no to a future together. It doesn't make sense to wait 3.5, 5 years to live together. 2.5 would already be a while. I don't want to be an idiot waiting for a guy who will never come around, but I'm not sure if I should give it a few more months to have that discussion. There's some time and logistics pressure because I will not be able to afford living in our area next year if we don't live together. So I'm trying to plan my finances. This is getting stressful. Also, he gets upset that I'm planning on spending a few months with family this winter, but I don't even see him every day because we don't live together. So I'm very resentful of him dictating where I live and where I'll be if it's not with him. Is this a sign that I should end things? When we had our rough patch and discussion, he insisted he was in it for the long term, but this is making me rethink it. We haven't spoken all day. Well, I mean, you don't need to speak to somebody every damn day anyway. But why are you in a push to live with somebody? What is that? That's not a milestone of achievement, girlfriend. What you're doing is setting yourself up to be some free live-in pussy and a free live-in maid. That's all you're doing. You young girls want to live with somebody. What the fuck are you doing? You don't live with no man if you're not married to him. Fuck him. You don't do that. Waking up next to you every day is a fucking privilege. Okay? And you should not be just giving away to some raggedy ass boyfriend. Living with somebody. I'm like I said, I did that shit when I was in college, but until my uncle bought my condo. Well, it was actually his condo, but he bought it so I could live in it. And so, but the first 2 years, I was like I was in the dorms for a hot minute, and then the other year and a half, I was just like a homosexual. Living over here, over there, over here, over there. You know, just do what you got to do to make the magic happen. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be planning like living with some man like that's a big milestone achievement. Getting married, maybe. Even I don't even want that at this point. But, for somebody your age, 26 to 29, that's, what you guys are still interested in doing. You want to have kids and all that stuff. And I totally get that. But, you're putting all this thing on, this on it like it's going to be some big deal if you guys live together, and I'm telling you it's not, and he doesn't want to do it, so you don't need to pressure him into it. You plan your life based on what works best for you. Don't worry about him. He's going to survive. You go live with your family. Okay, you ain't married to him, you ain't living with him, and you're not engaged to him, and what his thoughts are irrelevant to what you choose to do. You go live with your family, and then when you get done with that, you decide where you're going to live by yourself, and it's in a place that should be affordable for you. Don't worry about what he's doing. Do what works for you. If y'all break up, oh well, because you know what? Where you going to be, there's probably some other guys that you could meet that's better than him. That's how I look at it. Question number 23. This is from a female, 37 to 45, out of San Jose. Deb, you might want to take a big sip of your wine. Oh, I didn't even bring any today because I know I'm about to get cussed out. I know I have created my own nightmare by not leaving, but there's my drama. My partner and I have been together for 6 years. The first 2 years were very difficult. He was a total dusty, lying, cheating, gaslighting, the usual bullshit. I left him and told him exactly why I was leaving. He broke down, begged me to stay, and said he would get help, which he has. Over the next year, he became the model partner, a total dream, does all the right things, and follows a tight routine provided by his professional life coach to keep himself in check. Here's the problem, though. I can't get over one of the events no matter how hard I try. One of his affairs was with the way younger woman across the street. She is known in the neighborhood as a slut and has had affairs with multiple people. Hers with my partner didn't last long because I found out, packed my stuff, and moved out. That's what got his attention and made him sign up for professional help. The issue is that she still lives across the street, and knowing that fact pisses me off. This happened 4 years ago, but I keep having nightmares about it. You always say don't just listen to what a man says, but to look at what he does. Well, in this case, this man has seriously made a 180 and turned everything around. I see it, his family sees it, his friends see it, and his coach verifies the changes and the fact that he has remained loyal and faithful. I don't know why I keep obsessing about the past. I just want to move on from it, but I keep having nightmares, literally nightmares about her. Hmm. Where did I leave off? Every time it happens, I wake up and end up having several bad days. I talk to him about it, and each time he apologizes for mistakes and promises to keep working on himself and on our relationship. He remains calm, patient, and sincere, but it doesn't help eliminate my fears. Why do I have such PTSD from this? How can I stop having nightmares? I know I'm going to get cussed out, so I'm ready. Yes, you are. You're a little bit. You know why? Because during the whole time when he was a total dusty for that first 2 years, why did you stay? Why did you stay? That's the part that's amazing to me. You stayed living with dustiness for 2 years and you was okay with it, but now that he's trying to change, you having problems, nightmares and PTSD and all this old shit. Does you understand how crazy this sounds? You need to get you some therapy too. Now, the other question I have is, how come y'all can't move? Why does she have to still live across the street from you and you can't move? I'm confused. What's that all about? You know? I mean, there must be a reason. You didn't really say, but I'm confused because that would have been like a real simple, easy solution to move to some place where there's no, that lady is not. But this is my thing. You having a nightmare about this one particular woman. Do you know if the man wanted to cheat, like he has millions of opportunities? He has millions of women he could cheat with. You fixated on one. You fixated on one woman. Why? I mean, there's all kind of neighbors, all kind of people that he meet. Everybody, every single woman that he comes across. Those that at work, at church, at walking up and down the street, at the gym, whatever. I mean, there's women everywhere that he could cheat with if that's what he wanted to do. So you have to decide either you're gonna give him a clean slate and y'all gonna do this, or you just gonna say I can't do this and you're just gonna leave and it doesn't matter that he's changed because it's too little, too late. Only you can decide that, though. But I suggest you really investigate getting yourself some counseling because this seems to be bothering you a lot more than you're willing to admit. I'm kind of confused because I don't really understand why you're so fixated on this one person, especially years after the fact. You see what I mean? And you knew he was dusty and lying and cheating and doing all this stuff from the outset of your relationship. Why is it an issue 6 years later? And but you all gonna still just be dating forever? I mean, is there any plans to move this forward from marriage? You call it your partner, but I don't hear husband anywhere in there. There's a lot, of holes here, and there's a lot of things that I think you need to think about and come to resolution about before this is gonna work. But I still think the best thing is for you to talk all this stuff out and come to some conclusions and understandings about yourself with the help of a therapist, because that's outside the scope of this column. Question number 24, male, 30 to 36, Thousand Oaks, California. I've run into this a few times. And last night I went on a date with someone I met on a dating website. The date went well. My sobriety was brought up, and it led to a discussion about the topic. While we're discussing the topic, what's the topic? It was fairly clear that she has multiple brothers and sisters who have addiction problems. Oh. She herself does not use and is not an addict, but from what I could gather, all of her immediate family is an addict to some degree or another. This is a mild red flag in my mind. While she herself might be a good catch, at least so far, the big concern is what if she became someone I wanted to marry and have children with, which honestly is what I'm looking for. Now I realize it's just the first date, but I'm 36 and I have some health issues, so I'm hoping to have kids in the near future. I also can't afford to waste time dating deadbeats. I basically start looking at whether or not this is someone I would consider having kids with right away. This could become a source of conflict. If her family members are addicts, I would not want my kids exposed to them or even at family events or functions. Good thinking. That's very smart. The main reason being is that kids are easily influenced, and I want them picking up bad habits from her family members that are a hot mess. At what point would this type of thing become a deal breaker for you? As soon as those words left her lips. I've told you I don't do holics. I don't do holics. I don't do people related to holics. I don't do holics that might come visit you at my house if we were married. I ain't having no holics over my kids. Ain't no holics coming to my house stealing my shit to keep up with their holicism. I'm not doing any of that. I don't want them at the wedding because they're going to be stealing gifts off the table to buy them something. They gonna be taking going in your jewelry box. They be rifling through your house, picking up knickknacks and this and that, anything that they can sell at the pawn shop or they're on the corner. Yeah, no, you don't do that. I mean, she told you this because she wants you to know, and I admire her courage. And that was good that she did that. And I'm telling you, do that to me. Tell me some shit like that. I'll be like, oh. Say we're on the date. I'll be like, oh, look at the time. Wow, it's so late. Let me get up out of here. Yeah, yeah. Alcoholics, cokeaholics, heroinholics, what you call it, gambling holics. No holics. We don't do no holics. No, no, no. No holics. She ain't with him to leave him. They just went on one date, Ashley. Come on, keep up now. They went on one date. And on the first date, she exposed that she comes from a family of addicts. Okay? So they're not together. There's nothing for her to leave. Him either. But it's just a matter of, do they see each other for date number 2? And he's giving us, I like how he thinks. I wish y'all would think like this. Yes, eggplant hunt, all that wild hunt. Um, this is how I want you guys to think when you meet guys. To look not only at what's happening, but the whole chessboard. Okay, all the moving pieces and how them pieces could meet and how they could impact you. This is how I want you all to think about the men that you meet. He's on target. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's keeping his plan of wanting to have kids and be married and all stuff. And because of his health concerns, he wants to do it, relatively quickly. And he's staying focused on what his goals are and whether this person fits the picture or not. And he's seeing that she does not. I wish y'all would do that same thing. Oh my God, I wish y'all would do that. That would change so many of your lives. Yeah, I'm not doing no holics. And you know what's really sad is like the children of holics, they tend to have holicism issues as well. It's like a genetic thing. So, like they first try of some drug, they become like an addict. First drink, they become an alcoholic. It's terrible. So you have to think about that kind of stuff and how that would affect your children, even if the person that you're with doesn't do that, they still have those genes. They still have that. So you better think about it. All that stuff is genetic. You don't believe me? Read that article on my blog called The Stupid Motherfucker Gene. It's on survivingdating.com. It's one of my most popular articles. I wrote it kind of tongue in cheek, but as the years have gone by, because I wrote it, I don't know, early 2000s originally. The more years have gone by and the more work and studies has been done on DNA and genetics and chromosomes and stuff like that, the more they're finding out how much stuff is carried in the DNA, habits, behaviors, thought patterns, looks, attitudes, personality traits, all kind of stuff is carried in DNA. And the more we find out about that, it seems like I was onto something before I even knew it. Like I said, I just was making it like a joke. They stupid and they pass that shit on to your kids. But the proof is there now that I was actually onto something 20 years before it became really known. So I'm like, you better watch who you be breeding with. And the final letter of today's What the Fuck Tuesday column, I repeat, if you want to have your letter submitted, you want to submit a letter for a future show, look in the show description down below, scroll down, and you'll see something that says Get Advice. Click that link and send your letter in. And we will add it to the queue for an upcoming show, all right? So here's our final letter. This is from a young woman in the 37 to 45 age group. It says, no location provided. Dear Deborah, I was dealing with a guy who mentioned several times that he never sees me getting jealous. A few times he jokingly mentioned the other competition. When I asked him what happened between him and another woman and why it didn't work out, he told me that he likes people and the woman he was dealing with at the time didn't understand that or something to that effect. What the heck does he really mean by that? I have been telling him that I don't give a fuck about other women because I'm only concerned with myself. Hope to get more clarification on this. Thank you. Oh, this is just a test. This is a test when guys, because when a man is insecure and he needs to feel like he has the upper hand and that you're weak and easy to control and stuff, if he can make you jealous, that shows that you care more about him than he does about you. And he knows in that moment that he has the upper hand. He knows that he can yank your chain, have you jumping through hoops, change your emotional state, change your mental state, and have you doing stuff you don't really want to do because you're jealous and you're trying to win and get in this competition with some other woman. That's why he mentioned this other chick to you. See, when a guy does something like that, you're supposed to leave him alone because he's already telling you that he's exposing his hand. His game is that weak that he's going to tell you what the game is. And I mean, at least you had enough sense to ask me, but a lot of women don't. And then they fall for it. They was like, well, I'm jealous. He's talking about this other woman and this and that. And I'm telling you, if he's talking about some other bitch, that means he's thinking about a bitch. Words that still come out your mouth for no reason. You have to have thoughts, and that the words come based on those thoughts. So if he's talking about some other bitch, that means he's thinking about some other bitch. In which case, you're supposed to, just what you said. So I don't give a fuck about her. All I care about is me. And it's like, you don't think you're going to make me jealous. What's going to really happen is I'm going to get rid of you because I don't do that. I don't play them games. Those are childish games. How old are you, dude? You think that that's the way to get some attention and get the best out of me? I will fire your fucking ass. You're not going to play that game with me. I don't give a fuck about you. Not like that. Not where you're going to be getting some jealous feelings out of me. Jealous of what? Why? Why would I be jealous of you? You ain't my man, and I will definitely not be your woman after you played this little trick. Yeah, cheap trick motherfucker. One trick pony ass motherfucker. I'm just like, I just can't with these dudes. You're so insecure. That's the only way you're going to feel like you somebody and want it. You got to try to run around making women jealous. Don't try to make me jealous because it's not going to happen. I told you I've been jealous one time in my life. It scared the shit out of me. And I couldn't even be mad because it was my fault. I broke up with him. Of course, it was a sad thing, but that's how it goes. He was jealous too, though, but, you know. I'm telling you, you got a guy who tries to make you jealous, ladies. Get rid of him. Okay, get rid of him. He's purposely yanking your chain. That's emotionally abusive. When they do it intentionally over and over and over, that's emotional abuse. You are in an emotionally abusive relationship. A man who gives a fuck about you will never try to make you jealous. He wants you to feel secure, happy, loved, to know that he's all about you, to feel, confident in his love, secure in his love. He's not trying to do that. You got a motherfucker trying to make you jealous and do it on attention, talking about other bitches and all this kind of stuff. Drop him like a hot rock. I'm telling you, if you don't listen, that's be at your own risk, but I'm telling you. Explain the jealousy. Didn't I do a video on jealousy? I could have sworn I did. Go to the video. Girl, Mary Elizabeth, girl, I'm trying to tell you, there's so many videos now. I need somebody to make an index of my shit. But I might have to hire a teenager to do that one day. But to make like an index. But I could have sworn I did a video on jealousy. Yeah, I think it's called The Green-Eyed Monster or something like that. But anyway, it's on the channel. So go to the videos page and click that and do a search. And I want to remind everybody, you scrolling through the videos, you're not going to see but 150 videos. There's almost 900 videos on this channel. I've been doing this for years, and every one of them is on a different topic. So you go to the top of the channel, you'll see that tab that says videos. Click that, and then you'll see looks like a little magnifying glass. It's like a little search box. Type in there the keywords of what the video is that you want. Try, like for ghosting, just type ghost. You don't have to type the whole word. And then, so everything will come up after that. Love, cheating, cheat, something like that. And every video that has that in the title will come up, and you can just go along and watch them. there's just dozens of stuff that are, they're kind of interrelated. But I've been at this for a long, long, long time. There's all kinds of content here. If I didn't make a video for a month, there would still be all kind of shit for you to look at. Okay. But I want you guys to, go out and have a wonderful evening. Remember, we're doing 2 advice shows a week through the end of October. I think I'll be caught up by then. So we'll be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern for the second part of the advice show this week. And uh, what else? I don't know. I have some other stuff I need to be editing, some video interviews I did, but we'll worry about that later. And some really good stuff coming up. We're working on February. You guys have been good about making your suggestions for that. I'm already starting that programming. So we got great stuff on this channel coming up for the next couple of months. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button and the instant notification button. I will see you on Thursday.